I started in undergrad. I was at Bennington College in Vermont, and I was a dancer, and I wanted to be a choreographer. And realized I just was never going to be great at that. And being a dance choreographer means basically starving in New York. And if you're not great, then you really shouldn't go. So I came out to LA thinking to get involved in something involving performing arts, and then the natural direction was film and television. And got a job working for a producer in television, and watched the writers. And I don't think I really got at that point that screenwriting was an actual job, that you could get paid to do this. And their job was lying on the couch and throwing pencils up at the ceiling. I'm like, good job. I had always written. I just never kind of thought about it as a career. So I started studying at various places like UCLA Extension and AFI, and then went to graduate school at USC, actually as a producer. I did the Peter Starr producing program at USC. Figuring the one thing, I'm probably one of the few screenwriters in town who really has no interest in directing. But I am a control freak, so I wanted control of my work, so I wanted to have some chops as a producer, which is why I went to the producing program. And I came out and, just was writing and writing and writing. Television is, you are working with a staff of writers. You have, depending on the size of the show, whether it's comedy or an hour long, you have, 5 to 10 writers. And because you're producing an hour long, 22 episodes in a year, and there are people who actually will do that all on their own. They're insane. And they are literally insane. But you have this room of writers that just are constantly, bouncing ideas. And so it's a very politically charged situation, interpersonal politics. You're in it's like Dawson Boot. You're in a submarine with these people. You spend more time with them than anyone else in your family, and the worst of you is going to come out, and at one point you're going to hate every single person in that room. But it's also the best of everyone as well, and there's just no better place to be than a room full of writers, the right group of writers. I just had the most ideal collaboration I've ever had with the director, which is Bill Condon, he's actually an Academy Award-winning screenwriter. He wrote and won an Oscar for Gods and Monsters, which was a small movie back, beautiful. And he then wrote Chicago. He didn't direct it, he wrote it, and then went on to write and direct Dreamgirls. Incredibly talented writer and director. And the thing about working with writer-directors, if you're the writer, is they kind of come in a couple of, they come in all packages, but there's 2 packages specifically. One is they know what they want, and it's kind of like, here, just let me do it, and they want to get their paws on it, and, which is fair enough. It's just they don't know how to communicate it as well as they do just do it, Or there's a writer-director who knows exactly how to talk to the writer, and how to get from the writer what it is they want. And that was Bill Condon. And it was just, we had very long, it started off with I was just breaking the stories and outlining, and I delivered the 2 outlines, and then started getting his feedback, and then went off and wrote the drafts. And we get the producers and the director's notes and kind of be honing. And then it got into, okay, now we're heading toward the prep. We sat down, every 2 or 3 days and did intense, every line would go through and really just debate, is this the best way to do this? Is this the best structure? Is this the best scene? Is this the best way in? And it was a discussion back and forth all the time. And, that had a lot to do with sitting with 2 writers talking, other than a writer-director. But he knew how he wanted to shoot it. I mean, he was not talking to me of, oh, here, I'm going to do this. It was very much, I think the best thing a director can do is know the story.